everyone, Kevin Bees again, talking about your training video for this week. So this week I'd like to talk about your 100-mile bike ride. Yes, most of you guys hopefully are starting to get some nicer weather. I know here in North Carolina it is back to the 90s, so now we will have 4 to 5 months of perpetual heat. So definitely being able to get out on the bike outside. Just want to talk today, like I said, about the 100 miles that hopefully you'll be doing probably around beginning of June, end of June, depending on where you are in your training. But that's definitely a good time to get that century ride in. So as always, starting off with a little meditation here. I want to read to you from Hebrews, a really awesome phrase that Paul writes. And it's about Jesus' compassion. So here it is. Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has similarly been tested in every way, yet without sin. So let us confidently approach the throne of grace to receive mercy and to find grace for timely help. Why I chose this for our 100-mile ride meditation is for a good chunk of you, this may be the first time you've ever biked over 100 miles. Having done it before, you can do 80 and you're like, oh yeah, that's great, and 90, but there's something about that century that not only is physically more challenging, but it definitely has a mental component to it. But the thing I want you to remember is that Jesus suffered just like us physically. I mean, you look at the cross, the pain that had to have been 40 days in the desert. He was tested at the same level, and what I want you to remember is that he persevered. And just like Paul writes, he is compassionate and he understands our struggles. And when we need his help in these times of struggle, he's there to get us through. So when you're biking your 100 miles, I just want you to remember that Jesus is there every pedal stroke. I know the first year I did it, I literally just kept thinking, if you can keep on pedaling, God, I'll keep sitting on this bike. And here I am 8 years later, so something must have worked there. But that's my meditation for you today. Now to logistics. The two main things about your 100-mile ride that I want you to think about are what you need to bring and the route. Okay, so let's start with what you need to bring. For the ride, most definitely have your cell phone on you. Okay, if you're doing a century ride, just plan for the worst, I guess. But make sure that you have a way to contact someone you know. Make sure someone, friend, family member, mom, dad, significant other knows that you're on a century ride and knows where you're going. So cell phone, way to communicate just in case something were to happen on the road, whether it be a flat tire, you fall, whatever. Just make sure you have a way to communicate. My second thing is make sure that you have at least 2 bottles of water, okay? Now, if you have your Biking for Babies jersey already, the nice thing about biking jerseys is they have 3 pockets in the back. So assuming that your bike at least has 1 water bottle rack, you should be able to carry 1 water bottle on the rack with you or 1 in your back pocket, okay? If that's not the case, maybe you have 2 water bottle racks, whatever, I strongly suggest at least having 2 water bottles on you and having a scheduled stop, 1 or 2, where you can refill them, okay? If you're like me and it's about 90 degrees, you're going to be going through water pretty quick on a 100-mile bike ride. Second thing is to have some food with you, okay? So make sure that you definitely pack some food. Again, if you have a biking jersey, stick some granola bars, something easy to eat in your back pocket that you can eat while you're riding, or again, if you have a scheduled stop, places to stop, make sure that you have a gas station or money with you that you can buy some food just so that you can stay up on your energy throughout the ride. And the last thing I want to talk about is probably bringing a spare tube and either they have little CO2 cartridges that inflate them pretty quick or a small handheld pump. If you have the small handheld pump, the idea is not necessarily for you to get up to that 100 and 110 PSI for your tire, but that you can get enough air in your tire for you to bike back home and hopefully change out the tire. But make sure you have a spare tire on you, because if you get a flat and then you have no way to even at least get a semi-decent tire on there, you're going to be walking or, again, using your cell phone. So when it comes to bringing things, I'm just going to go through it again. Cell phone, spare tires, 2 things of water at least, and food for the ride, or at least places to stop for food, okay? Now, the route is also very important. Um, for me, I always try to stay at least 20 miles away from my home, again, because if I need something that's not a super long drive for my wife or someone to come pick me up. So I usually do a circle that starts from my house and doesn't stay any farther from 20 miles. The loop is usually 50 miles for me, and then I just bike it twice, and my house is my lunch stop. Or breakfast stop, depending on when I'm biking during the day. But I think that's a smart idea to not to try to get so far from home. Now, if you're biking a straight line and you have people along the way, houses, family members, that you know would be able to help you, that's great too. But just keep that in mind. Again, planned stops. So make sure you're at least biking through some towns, not staying out in the country the whole time, just in case if you need more water or food. When you're biking, I would prefer that you stay on county roads. Highways are okay for as little time as possible, but your safety is number one. So make sure you're on roads that you're comfortable biking and that are safe for you to bike on. And last but not least, not necessarily in terms of the route, but just make sure you know what the weather is going to be like. Stay ahead of it. And again, that can be what your cell phone's used for if you need to check the weather during the ride, just to make sure that you're staying out of any high winds, storms, etc. We want you to be safe. We want you to be on the ride in July. So just make sure you take all the necessary precautions to make sure your Century ride is helpful and safe. Okay. As always, if you have any questions about setting up a Century ride, or even if you're in that 70 to 80 mile ride right now and nervous about doing a Century, feel free to email me, text me, call me, whatever. That's what I'm here for, is to help you guys. And just remember, God's on the bike with you. All right. You guys have a great week, and I'll be seeing you soon.